Alright, today we're having a look at Neon Grove by Digital Thing. Alright, so here we are in Neon Grove by Digital Thing. Got a nice little invisible wall there. Says we are a fire breather dragon. Yes, we can breathe fire. I've got some moves listed in the background there. Picking up neat coins, and we're going to burn that box. Excuse me, we're going to burn this box. I don't know why it just started going backwards for us. Like, we just started breathing fire at the screen. Or maybe... Nope, can't control that. Press O to drop down. Nifty. Alright, I'm liking it. I'm liking the way it looks so far. It is very toyetic. And I appreciate that. It's got a very nice look to it. It handles the 2D aspect pretty well while still giving a feeling of 3D. With the background and the parallaxes going on there. The music is really nice. The music is really jamming. So I appreciate that as well. It may be a little bit loud, as Dreams music does tend to be fairly loud. Don't know what's going on with the sound balancing on that, but I'm liking what we see so far. This is, I guess, community picked, and it's something I'm going to have to keep keep in mind when I'm searching for levels for the show, because I generally tend to do that on FeverdreamS.me, and it doesn't say on FeverdreamS.me that the level has been community picked. I don't mind looking at levels that have gotten some interest or gotten some views already, but I would like to, with roughly 50 minutes fresh, I'd like to find some levels that are a little bit more obscure. Not necessarily something that everybody's already taken a look at. Now, that was interesting because we fell off. I assumed that we died, and yet our heart mark up in the upper left corner still says 5 hearts. So, because I was assuming that was life. That's how much life that we had, but maybe I'm wrong there. And if I'm wrong, that's perfectly fine, I guess. I don't mind being wrong all the time. Completely and incredibly wrong. Now we got another heart. What does that mean? Can we not die? That's something I'm going to test, but I don't want to test yet. Wait, are we done? Well, maybe we're not done yet. Maybe that's just World 1-1. No, I guess we are done. I mean, I was liking it. Let's just really... We're gonna thumbs that up. We're just gonna, because we still got 2 minutes and change on the video. We're gonna go get ourselves killed and see if that actually makes the heart marks go down. So we see up in the upper corner 5 hearts, 1 diamond, a clover, green clover, yellow squares. No, that was not even a very funny joke about, you know, Lucky Charms. I haven't eaten Lucky Charms in forever, so whatever. There's our star. Does the star do anything for us? Okay, we're dead. Now, it did go down to 4. So, interesting. Now, we die to an enemy, goes down to 4. Let's kind of speed this up. Or did we... No, I mean, did we have 6 lives? Because I just passed a heart mark. I'm going to speed this up. If I stand too close to a box, it does not bother me. Because, of course, I'm a fire-breathing dragon. Fire wouldn't bother me. Why would fire bother me? I'm unbothered by fire. Take that, fire. Alright, that does kill us. Where do we get sent back to? Not too far. It would be nice if the checkpoints, the progress points, are indicated in some way on the map, just so that we can kind of plan and know how much progress we're going to be losing if we do die. It's not... Okay, that was... not on purpose. I want you to know that was just me fumbling a jump. It does, I think, help to know how much progress you're going to lose and maybe increase the tension of the level, because if it's been a while since you've seen a checkpoint, then you may start to play a little bit more conservatively so as to not lose a lot of progress, so you can kind of manipulate how players will react to, or how they will view the difficulty of the level, with indications of progress loss. Just a little thing. Fall damage does kill us, and we did die. Neon Grove, a winner is not us. But it is time to go back to the hub, so we will see you there. See yas! And we're back, and Neon Grove by Digital Thing, and I'd say it's a yellow square. It's a bit of a softer yellow square, but more for things that aren't there than for any problems that particularly are. Of course, as always with these grades, it can be a little bit of your mileage may vary, but overall and all in all, I really enjoyed the level. It's a nice, simple, introductory style platformer. As we saw in the video, the level is very WYSIWYG. It's very small, and we got to see just about everything that was in the level. It's only about 2.5 minutes long, but it's got a really nice environment. I'd say it's almost a Kirby-esque environment. It's not so much kit together out of household objects like we would have seen in Little Big Planet, but it's not a hyper-realistic environment either. It's very kid-friendly, and I think that this level is kid-friendly, but also is open to all ages and all levels of playing ability. I think even if you're not a particularly great platformer, you really shouldn't find too much to challenge you in this level, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If this feels very much like the opening stage, the opening level of what we hope, I hope at least, would be a larger project. I'd love to see more worlds in this vein with this character. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a moment, but for what we've got here, kind of introducing you to what the character can do, we've got the fire breathing, of course, with the R1. Now, there is a little bit of a hitbox issue with that, I found. Not coming up every time, but if you were too close to boxes or to enemies, that the fire wouldn't always kind of engage with the hitbox of what you were trying to burn. You had to be just a touch away from it. And also with the end point of it, if you were just a little bit too far away, even though it looked like the fire would be touching something that it actually wasn't, it wasn't actually burning it, but still that the fire worked out fairly well. You've got a jump, you've got a drop down ability. I found the character, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just very much within the style of the character. I found the character to be very plodding, to be very slow, forcing you to engage with the level at a slower pace, which is good, because it would be easy to kind of push through the level very quickly for reasons that we will also talk about in a moment. That does mean, though, if you like zippier platforming action, if you like bouncing off of things and really tight jumps and things like that, you're not going to find that here. This is very much a much more slow-paced level. And one thing I do appreciate about that slower pace, though, is it does force you to take time with the music. And I really thought the music was very well done in this level. It's a great track. It fits in with the environment very well. It handles the action, so to speak, of the level very well. It's not something that is out of place or feeling like a mismatch. I didn't have that feeling at all. I love the track, and I would love to have that track, to be perfectly honest, because it is pretty jammin'. You say that there are some slightly negative points, but they're more negative points by things that are missing. And one is that there's no scoreboard in the level. There's no scoreboard that's been implemented in the level, and I do think that cuts down on the replayability an awful lot, and it cuts down on the necessity of picking everything up and getting all of the stars, which I thought those stars were actually really cool looking. The hearts as well, the way that they blink and they smile, I thought that was cute and unnecessary touch, but one that adds more character to the level. And I love to see these small unnecessary touches that add character and life to levels. I do appreciate those. But like, the stars don't do anything in the end. They're just something that you collect, and because there's no scoreboard, there's no way to challenge yourself or to challenge other players. And as I said, I do think that cuts down on the replayability there. Hi! This is the second time I've recorded this, because the first time I recorded this, I made a big issue about how I would love to see more levels in this vein. I would love to see a collected world of this stripe, and turns out there's actually another level of this. It's I didn't write down the name, Arctic Peaks or Frigid Peaks. I will check that, and I'll make sure that it is in the pip so the credit is given. And it's kind of interesting because that one was, I believe, made before Neon Grove. At least Neon Grove, the most recent version, has been published after that. But it is a harder level. It feels like this would be maybe a 1-2 level, or even a World 1-3 level, as opposed to a starting level. It is more challenging. The jumps are more challenging. There's a slide mechanic that's going on when you encounter ice. It's easier to miss those jumps because of the slide mechanic. That level, unfortunately, is not actually finished. You will get to a series of ice blocks at the end where you're going to have to do a number of those quick jumps to get over the blocks, and there's no end platform. There's nowhere that to actually trigger an animation in the game, which led me to discover something relatively interesting, which is that you can actually get negative lives in the Arctic level. I was at -6, I think, before I finally figured out that I wasn't doing something wrong. The level just didn't end. So there is at least one more level, in this series, and as I said, I hope that Digital Thing expands this. I hope that they bundle these levels together and give us kind of a progression: World 1-1, World 1-2, World 1-3, maybe a boss fight. I would love to see more than that, but even just a kind of a full chapter would be pretty cool. Digital Thing, I think you did a great job here. I had an awful lot of fun with the level. I think that people will have fun with the level as well. A little bit more polish, a little bit more expansion, and I think you've got a real winner on your hands. But I do think that just about does it for us this go about. So from me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.